Hello and welcome to the British Gaming Podcast. It is the 24th of April 2016. You are not hearing or seeing things. There is genuinely a new podcast episode out. As always, I'm Sam, and with me tonight is Terry.
Ta-da! We're back.
And no Richie this evening. The main reason being is that we can never get all three of us together, and that's one of the reasons there hasn't been an episode in about 4 months. Naturally, I've got 2 kids and a career. Terry's got a job and a master's degree to study for, and Richie's got a full-time job and a part-time programming degree. So actually getting all 3 of us to sit down at the same time can be difficult. For that reason, going forward, yes, there will be more of these. However, they will be sporadic and as and when we can do them, as opposed to being on a regular schedule. I think that about covers it. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Hashtag adult problems.
Yeah, pretty much. We're old men, and that causes problems. So, topic list we've got for you today is naturally the introduction, where we've been. That's pretty much covered. What we've been playing, not the past 4 months, but the past couple of weeks. And then a couple of sort of news items, so to speak. So Nintendo stock has been stolen from a lorry in the UK again. Amazon seems to be forcing third-party sellers on non-Prime members for certain video game purchases.
Ooh.
Boo. There's a new Fear Effect game on Kickstarter. Our thoughts on the PlayStation 4K / the PlayStation Neo, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of fan questions from 4.5 months ago from Lupacillo, so we'll get round to finally answering those.
Yeah, quite a bit of pressure, because, that's 4.5 months of build-up, so we better have some good answers for these.
Well, no, I figure it's probably at the point where he's forgotten he asked them, and has probably assumed they weren't getting answered by now, so if anything we say about it is a bonus, it's more than he thought he was getting.
Yeah, hopefully there's not a Lupacillo-shaped skeleton at a computer desk somewhere.
Just cobwebs and stuff on it, like, they never got back to me.
Yeah. Was it Lupacillo or Kosharo who we kept asking to update us every week with their well-being at one point?
Kosharo.
Okay. Yeah, Lupacillo, you're going to have to do that too now.
No, I think that's probably a step too far. Besides which, how would they contact us every week? We can't guarantee we're going to be doing one of these every week.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. Like, check in at some time and some place. We don't know. Doesn't really work.
But at least we're reassuring everyone that we're okay.
That's true. I mean, for all they know, we could have Richie's body under a patio somewhere.
Yeah, we totally don't.
No. So what have you been playing the past couple of weeks?
Past couple of weeks, I've been playing a bit of Pokken Tournament, and I was really looking forward to it, but I don't know, it's a bit of an anticlimax. But then again, it's literally Pokemon Tekken. It even actually says that on the disc, Pokemon Tekken. And
Hang on.
yeah.
How is it Pokemon Tekken? It's a weird camera angle. It looks more like one of the Budokai Tenkaichi or one of those weird Shonen Jump versus games.
It's actually more like, did you play much of Tekken 4?
No, not really. That's the one where Jin got the really lame hoodie, isn't it?
Yeah, that one. Well,
Yeah.
Tekken 4 felt a bit more sort of isometric 2.5D, whatever you want to call it. So it kind of feels a bit more like that than the more 2D Tekken 5, 1, 2, and 3 and stuff. So
like Dragon Ball Shin Budokai?
Kind of, actually, yeah. I think that's a good comparison for it.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, and the problem with it is if you're an esports person, someone who likes to play a lot of multiplayer, someone who knows a lot of people who likes playing fighting games. There's not that many people I know that are into playing fighting games. In fact, I think you are one of the few, and you bloody moved away, you sod.
Well, yeah, but I had my reasons. I mean, one, it put a 4.5-hour drive between us, which is handy.
Love you too, buddy. Anyway, yeah, and the roster's a bit small as well. I mean, when you played a Tekken game, like Tekken Tag Tournament 2, I think had about 50 characters or something ridiculous, whereas you get about 13 characters in this Pokken tournament, and two of them are variants of Mewtwo, and another two of them are variants of Pikachu, so that cuts it down that bit further.
So it's sort of like the first time you popped in Tekken 2 and thought that was a decent character roster.
Yeah, well, Tekken 2 even has a bigger one because when you count the unlockable characters, I think there's about 24 in that.
Oh yeah, because all the sub-bosses you fight end up becoming playable characters once you beat that arcade mode, don't they?
Exactly. So,
Forgot about them.
yeah, I
But I
get
did say the first time you pop it in, to be fair, and they wouldn't be unlocked at that point, so technicality, I'm still going to take the point.
True, but then again, Tekken 2 back then, 10 characters to start with, was still a fairly sizable character roster for that time, whereas 2016, not so much.
And that's the comparison I was making, saying if this came out at the same time, sort of Tekken 2 did, then that would be
Yeah.
an
Oh,
average
yeah, that'd be.
character roster.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I get the feeling they're holding back some characters for DLC.
of course they are.
Yeah.
It's 2016, why wouldn't they be?
At least they haven't pulled a Capcom and put it on disc.
True.
As far as we know, anyway.
No, that thing would have been data mined to fuck by now.
Definitely. Other than that, Just Cause 3 has been my consistently most played game. Even though it was really buggy at the start, they've sorted it out, or at least my system seems to be running it fine. I don't know if anyone else is still having problems, but...
Yeah, but do you care if anyone else is having problems if it's running alright for you? At that point, you're sort of like, fuck everyone else, right?
Exactly. Funnily enough, last month I was having to run it at like 720p, and my CPU is still going proper hot. But then a couple of weeks ago, I dusted my PC, and now I can run it at 1080p without any noise. Like I didn't realize I'd let it get that dusty. Like normally I dust the computer once a month, but
Remember, kids, maintain and clean your computers.
Yeah, dust is a sod for really causing heat. But yeah, you think senseless destruction, silly physics, and wingsuiting around would get dull after a while, but I'm still going at it. I think.
Come on. How can that get dull? After we've had Vice City, Just Cause 2, and Far Cry 3, we know exactly how much mileage you can get out of dicking around.
True. And in all honesty, the character in Just Cause 3, you know what? Even though I've been playing it so much, for a moment I forgot his name. It's frickin' Rico.
Yeah, it's the same guy as Just Cause 2.
Yeah. He's a better Batman video game wise than Batman in the Arkham game.
Bullshit.
Like he can grapple hook anywhere he bloody wants, whereas Batman it's just like, oh no, I have to wait for a button prompt.
No one's a better Batman than Batman.
In video games, Rico bloody is. Especially in Just Cause 3, like gliding around in that wingsuit is so much nicer than the Bat cape.
I think they're two different things entirely, and I'm not entirely sure why you're making the comparison. Like, if he was Squirrel Man, then maybe the wingsuit would make sense, but he's not.
Okay, maybe the wingsuit is a bit off, but the grapple hook is a hell of a lot better. Like, that's something that they should have thought of with the Batman games. It's just, I don't know.
I would counter you. I would say they did think about it, and that's why it's only available on select surfaces, to stop people having too many options.
Okay, when Asylum, that would make sense, but in the open world ones, like Arkham Knight especially, I feel like it should have been something that they could have just made a bit more free and a bit more open.
What couldn't you grapple to in Knight? In Knight, you can grapple to a ledge, and then while you're still going up to that ledge, you can hit the button for the next ledge above it, and Batman will just automatically shoot another grapple as soon as he gets to the top of the current ledge.
Can't grapple a wall, can't grapple a ground, can't grapple a vehicle.
Why would you need to grapple the ground?
If you fall in to break your fall.
According to physics, that's not going to help you at terminal velocity.
It does in Just Cause.
Besides which, Batman breaks his fall by using his cape as a parachute, negating the need to grapple himself at the floor.
Either way, all games should have grapple hooks.
Right, okay, sure.
Anyway, finally, I've been playing a bit of Crash Twinsanity just to kind of reacquaint myself with it for a bit of practice because thanks to this guy who I'm chatting to, I'm Let's Playing it in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I sort of bugged him to do it, and then I made him a deal in that I'm currently Let's Playing the Spyro trilogy on the PlayStation. Spyro 1, the final part went up today, and the first part of Spyro 2 goes live tomorrow morning. And I agreed that after I was done with the trilogy, I would do Spyro 4, Enter the Dragonfly, reportedly the worst Spyro game, and one that I've not actually played before, to be honest.
Oh,
Um,
really?
on the condition that Terry did Crash Twinsanity. So hopefully by the time I'm done with the third Spyro game, Terry will have made good on his end, and then I'll pick up Spyro 4 and see just how bad it can get.
Yeah, but I figure if you've got two more games of a trilogy to go, I could finish off the other Let's Play I'm working on, which is a good Crash Bandicoot game, Crash 3.
Yeah, yeah, you could start it. That would be helpful.
Oh, I have actually started it.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm up to halfway through the third warp room.
Then why haven't you uploaded anything?
I I want to make sure it's finished because I don't really want to have a huge gap between uploads. I say as I'm talking on a podcast that's just had a huge gap between uploads.
Yeah,
But
because of scheduling.
I, yeah, well, I just kind of want to have it all done so I can just like queue it up to go because, like, the last Let's Play I was doing was Rodea the Sky Soldier. I got up to part 8 and I don't know what it is with that game. Like sometimes I love it, and other times I'm just like, this thing absolutely sucks. There's never any midway point with that game.
Alright, let's put it this way. What I find is like Spyro 2. I've done the first of 3 hub worlds. There are 8 Let's Play parts out of that. That's uploaded and that will last just about 2 weeks. So that gives me 2 weeks to then record the next batch of parts. And knowing that something's already up, but will go up over a long period of time, has a nice mix between I need to get something done and not procrastinate because I do have a deadline without putting too much pressure on because there is a nice length of time there.
The issue is I've got other deadlines like the master's degree that you just mentioned. See, when I started the Crash 3 Let's Play, I was waiting to get responses from tutors of, okay, go ahead with this project. Okay, go ahead with this thing. Go ahead with that thing. So while I was waiting, there was nothing to do. So I figured, I've got spare time. Now that I've got things to do, it's all piled up. So if I was to continue the Crash 3 Let's Play, I'd have to wait a little while. So that's why I'm waiting it out.
You and responsibilities. How dare you? Um, Alright,
Yeah.
well, I may as well go then. Um, I've been playing Ratchet and Clank. I picked it up on Friday during my lunch break at work. I started playing it Friday evening. Then I played it through yesterday and most of today. I beat the game. Then I beat the game again on challenge mode. Now I'm going for the platinum trophy, and I've only got 3 trophies left to go. Max out the level of every weapon, max out the modifications on every weapon, and max out Ratchet's health. So all 3 of those are just grindy trophies that will come from what will probably end up being a third playthrough because it's sort of like a new game plus deal. All your equipment and everything carries over, so I'll probably just go into another new game. By the time I'm through playthrough 3, everything will probably be max level. And I want to do a video on it as well because I've really enjoyed it. I want to do because it is a reimagining of the first game. I want to do a remade, repackaged, rebooted on it.
Oh yeah.
So I'll need to run through it a 4th time to capture the footage. But I've owned it 3 days. One of those days I had work, which because of the new travel arrangements and stuff for work, I leave at 7 in the morning. I get back 7 at night. There's not a whole lot of hours actually at home at the moment, so to have played through the entire game twice in that time and started trophy whoring it is I've been a bit addicted to it. It's really, really good. It's a shame more 3D platformers don't get made. I'm waiting for my ukulele Kickstarter award when that eventually, finishes being made and I get that.
Oh God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I backed it too, and I'm waiting for my reward too. Well, I say waiting. I'm waiting now that you reminded me that's a thing.
Well, it's still making the game.
Yeah.
It's one
Well,
thing I
no.
don't like about video game Kickstarters is like Shenmue 3. I've backed it. Apparently, I've got a copy at some point. Um,
Yeah.
when I don't know, but at some point I will have a copy of Shenmue 3.
Yeah. It might be worth clarifying what you clarified to me earlier, that it's not a particularly short game, Ratchet and Clank. You've just played it a lot.
Yeah, you're looking at about 8 to 9 hours to go through the main story. Um, and I've gone through the main story twice, but I've also been 100%ing it. So all of the optional objectives I've been doing, um, all of the collectibles, like the gold bolts are back, for example.
Oh, they went away?
Or just as in they're there, they're in the
Oh.
game.
Oh, right. I thought you meant they took them out for an installment. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Not that I can't remember them ever being gone, but then there have been like 9 of these fucking things now.
True. Well, they're saying that, like, Wumpa Fruit isn't the main collectible thing in Crash of the Titans. That was weird.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's these weird magic orb things instead. I forgot what they're called.
Okay, sure, fine.
Yeah.
Like there's 28 gold bolts to find. So I got all of those. There's collectible trading cards in the new Ratchet and Clank
Huh.
called holo cards, and there's I think it is actually 100 holo cards in total, but they come in sets of 3, and completing a set of 3 gives you like a buff for the main game, like it increases the drop rates of certain things from enemies.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
or it increases the damage from certain weapons, like you can double your wrench damage if you get a certain set. And it
Hmm.
also makes certain weapons available for purchase in the new Game Plus mode. Um, so I've already finished the collection of those, and that gets a bit like you can, if you get duplicate cards, you can trade 5 of those duplicate cards for one of the cards you actually need.
All right.
Once you complete the set, enemies don't stop dropping cards, and like there are some hidden in secret areas and rooms in the levels, and those still spawn. So I currently have something like 70 duplicate cards.
Yeesh.
Yeah, no idea what the duplicate cards are because they don't show you. It's just a number on the screen. Duplicate cards 70.
Weird.
So yeah, I've just been holed up playing it all weekend. Thankfully, my kids seem to love the game, so I'll take them to see the movie of the game. And the game is based on the movie, which is kind of weird. But we take them
Yeah, I
around
was wondering what the deal was with that.
yeah, the game based on the movie based on the game. Okay.
Fair play.
Yeah, but Dev really enjoyed watching it. I've enjoyed watching that more than they enjoy watching their cartoons and stuff, so that's not been an issue, and I've just been able to plow through. Something like Far Cry, I can't really get away with that.
Yeah, no, I remember a specific scene in Far Cry 3 that is a bit explicit, so yeah.
Even just in general. Daddy, why is that elephant not moving anymore? Uh... She's nearly 4 now, so she's old enough to question these things. So,
Oh dear.
yeah, I've just been playing a hell of a lot of that, and it's actually had me going back through the Ratchet and Clank HD trilogy, partly because I need footage of the first game for Remade Repackaged Rebooted, and partly because it's given me the itch to just go through them all again, except All for One, because fuck All for One.
Daddy, why did you shoot that animal with an arrow? Because I need to peel off its skin and turn it into a wallet.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's how we get hamburgers. Um, wow, a Friends reference. Now I feel dated and old. Um, but yeah, oh, and Spyro 2, obviously, for that Let's Play, which is probably the Spyro I remember most, so that's Not so much an adventure. At this point, it's more muscle memory and paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Crash 3 is like that for you now.
Yeah, it really is. That's probably the one I remember the most, even though I kind of prefer 2 a little bit.
I'm not looking forward to Spyro 3.
Uh,
Spyro 3, we had, by that point, my original PlayStation had literally blown up.
oh, dude.
Yeah, summer holidays, I had 6 weeks off and I'd squirreled away a bunch of snack food and stuff in my room. And I tried to do Final Fantasy VIII in one sitting. Um, which meant
Oops.
leaving it on a pause screen for 3 hours at a time while I took a nap. And I got to Ultimecia's castle, literally the last dungeon of the game, and the PlayStation went, fuck this shit. I heard a bang, smoke started pouring out of the side vents of the PlayStation. My
Wow.
stepfather ran in the room like half naked because he was about to get in a bath. Picked up the PlayStation and chucked it out my bedroom window. And that was the end of
Wow.
that. Um,
I must say, it's kind of impressive you got that far without saving, considering, like, game over and you're screwed, there's no checkpoints.
I said one sitting, I didn't say no saves.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's just I remember you telling me like this story before, but I thought it was because you didn't have a memory card at that point or something. But I must be thinking of another story from someone else, maybe.
No, it's because I'm socially awkward and I had no friends in high school.
Oh, so
Yeah.
wow, that sounded more patronising. But I was just like, how do I respond to this sympathetically? I'm not good at sympathy.
Oh, I don't want sympathy, it was awesome.
It's like again another Friends reference. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment?
Thanks, Chandler.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, so then we got the little. You remember the PS1 that they did? It was this tiny little thing with curved edges, and really the machine wasn't much bigger than the disc.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that. I just remember seeing a friend had that, and I was just looking at it, thinking, "Huh, where the hell is the cheat cartridge slot?"
Yeah, there wasn't one.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you had you had to be on the Exploder disc, which had its own special memory card. Not that I'd know.
yeah.
Anyway,
See, I didn't use cheat cartridges for the cheats. It was more for backups.
okay. I
Yeah.
I'd just use them for shit like big head mode, or like I'd finish a game and then it'd be like moon jump. Yeah,
Oh,
fuck it, why
come
not?
on. You did
Let's see.
naked. You did naked Lara like the rest of us. Admit it.
Oh, piss off. Did you know how long that code was? It was nearly a full page of the PlayStation A to Z. There's no way the Exploder menu typing all that in on a D-pad. Fuck right off. No, wasn't happening. It was too much effort. I just looked at the screenshot they provided in the magazine. Well, she's
Yeah.
blonde and she's got square nipples. That's you know, it looks a bit shit to be honest.
Oh, it did, but meh. It was just. I don't know.
The
Like,
thing is, when you can clearly see the effort and the reward on one
yeah.
page, and you're like, yeah, no, not worth it.
Eh, I had a lot of free time as a kid.
I'll bet.
Not for
Anyway,
that. It was more at the stage where I was like, boobs, rather than ooh.
there is a story about Spyro 3 in here somewhere. We bought Spyro 3, and we would regularly fall through the floor at the same part of one of the first levels, and we just couldn't get past that point of the game. In fact, I think it was the hub world. We'd
Hmm.
just fallen through the floor. We took it back, got another copy, exact same problem. So then we took it back, and instead of getting another copy of the same game, because we were like, well, it's just going to happen a third time, we got a different game entirely. A game that was so good and made such an impression, I couldn't even tell you what it bloody was. So Spyro 3, I'm going to be going in more or less blind.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we'll see what it's like. I've really, truly not played it before. Well, beyond, where it used to fall through the floor when I was a kid. And I think I played Richie's copy a couple of times. Couldn't tell you what level he was up to or whatever at the time I played. I was just like, oh, this is Spyro 3. Oh, okay. Feels like Spyro 2. Yeah, pretty much is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, should we actually get on to some of the topics we've got lined up?
Well, you know how earlier I said that I made a couple of notes of things I wanted to mention? I forgot to note something.
What was that?
I also got Star Fox Zero today, and I played that a bit.
Oh, okay. This will be interesting because I've heard a lot of people saying,
Mix.
"Oh, Lilac Wars or Star Fox 64 for American listeners was really just a remake of the Super Nintendo game when you get down to it. And now Star Fox Zero is more or less another remake. It's like we've played the same game 3 times."
Oh, wow. These people sound like they'll be such fun at parties.
Well, you did invite them.
Yeah, don't invite these people to your parties. um, I don't know. I mean, the first thing that sort of struck me when I was playing it is you get a tutorial level, which I found really weird because you play Lilac Wars, you don't get a tutorial. In fact, I don't think you really got tutorials back then.
There is a tutorial, it's a separate option on the main menu.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You...
you're in a simulation and you're flying through rings and stuff.
Oh, right. Oh,
It's
this
kind
was.
of basic, does the job.
Oh, that sounds like that sounds like the tutorial I played then. Really.
Oh, so you
Um,
just took that out of the main menu and made it mandatory. Beautiful.
Yeah, it seems that way. Although saying that, I didn't really try very hard to try and find a skip option, but I think it was lacking one. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a lack of that.
Which is weird, because Lilac Wars was made for multiple playthroughs, hence the different routes and everything. Have you got to go through that tutorial every damn time?
No, I don't think you do once you've got a save.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then after that, obviously, there's the main game, and in terms of the gameplay itself, like it kind of feels very Lilac Wars, but at the same time, like because of the fact that they really wanted to make good use of that second screen, it's kind of weird. You've got that cockpit view on the second screen, and you can sort of get a better viewpoint of where you're aiming with that. And not that the viewpoint that you get on your TV screen is bad; it's still the same kind of viewpoint you got when you were playing Lilac Wars, really.
Isn't there like a co-op mode where one person flies and the other person shoots?
I'm not sure how the co-op works. I haven't tried that yet, so I can't confirm or deny. But there is a co-op mode. I know that.
Okay.
And yeah, at first on the tutorial, it's just like move the controller around and use the motion controls to aim. And I was just like, please be optional, please be optional, please be optional, please be optional. Thankfully, it is.
So you can just use your stick.
Yep, thank God for that.
Good.
And the right trigger is actually your fire button as opposed to A, which threw me off at first. I was like, wait, what?
Makes
What's going on?
sense.
Yeah. I mean, once you get used to it, it's all right. And the right shoulder button is the bomb button. Your right stick is your boost, your brake, your barrel rolls, all
So
that
that takes
stuff.
the place of the C buttons, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also use the left analog stick and the right analog stick in certain ways to make it somersault, or you can just press one of the face buttons to somersault or, turn around. So, in
So you've
terms,
got like advanced mode, easy mode.
exactly, like the way of somersaulting with the sticks, I think it's press up on the left stick, down on the right stick simultaneously. I couldn't get the hang of it. It was a bit clunky.
Doesn't sound
And
very intuitive.
yeah, at first it does feel a bit clunky, but it feels like the sort of clunky where it's like something new that they're trying that is probably okay once you get used to it. At least that's what I'm hoping anyway. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm sort of like, I'm interested, I want to keep playing, and I want to like this. Let's just hope that, that I do sort of thing.
Let's hope this gets better.
Sort of, yeah. And another weird thing is the walker as well. You press A, and if there's ground underneath you, then you just like turn to this weird little walker thing.
Oh, is this the thing that was going to be in Star Fox 2, but then they didn't release Star Fox 2 because the N64 was coming out?
I've not seen the walker in Star Fox 2, so I can't confirm that.
Okay, basically
Yeah.
it's your wings sort of turned into little legs and they went under you.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And something I can say, but it's not a plot spoiler, but it could be construed as a spoiler. Do you want me to say it, and I can give a spoiler warning?
Yeah, just do it. Yeah.
Okay, so spoiler warning. basically the first level literally feels exactly the same in terms of layout and kind of aesthetic style to the first level of Lilac Wars, exactly like the same layout and everything, apart from the boss fight.
How is that a spoiler?
I guess it's not really. I don't know. Some people are really anal about like what counts as a spoiler and what isn't. So I just wanted to be careful, I guess.
Yeah, but I think you can judge for yourself what is and isn't a spoiler, and that most definitely is not.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And
But
besides which, that level's been in plenty of trailers.
that's a good point. Okay, fair play.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
So it's
far,
alright, is it?
yeah, so far I'm enjoying it so far. But at the same time, I feel like I'm sort of trying to get used to the controls at the same time, and I'm hoping it's just the fact that it's a new experience that's causing me an issue, and not it being counterintuitive. I'm thinking it's the former rather than the latter.
Okay. Time will tell. You
Yeah.
can update us whenever the next one is.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll let's play it. Damn
Hey.
it! I'm not going to promise that though, because I've already just promised 2 let's plays on this podcast. I can't build up a backlog.
I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to either hand your channel over to Nintendo or have your channel taken down.
Yeah, that's true.
Nintendo are a bit shitty when it comes to Let's Plays, and Nintendo are also a bit shitty about getting their stock delivered.
Ah,
Segway. So, for those who don't know, a lorry carrying thousands of pounds worth of new Nintendo stock was broken into on the A14 in the UK while the driver was asleep in the cab. I believe their distribution centre is in Germany, so it's not unusual for them to have to do, 20 odd hour drive and sleep overnight to, refresh themselves. You don't want to drive for that long straight, it's not safe. Um, so this follows, obviously, over a year ago now when Splatoon was coming out. The pre-orders with the limited edition amiibos in. That is it amiibos or amiibo plural for that?
um, I'd guess amiibos. I don't
It,
know.
it, that's a weird one, right? Answers
Where's,
in the comments,
where's like
please.
where's like Wee Me's? That it's not me, it's me's.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Um, it feels like it should just be amiibo for the plural. I'm just gonna go with that. Anyway, that was broken into, and a bunch of people didn't get their Splatoon pre-orders, and a lot of people didn't get that, particular amiibo that came with it. With this one, my first thought was Star Fox pre-orders.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there wasn't an exclusive Amiibo edition, but there is like a first print edition that comes with this Star Fox Guard game, which is like this strategy game.
Oh, okay. And you play that on your Wii as well, do you?
Yeah, I'm not 100%
Or your
sure
Wii
how.
U?
Yeah, well, I'm not really 100% sure how the gameplay works. No, I've not really checked that out yet. But Sai, who we've mentioned on previous podcasts,
Hi,
runs the
Sai.
hello, who runs our favourite Norwich gaming shop.
Regenerating Gaming.
He's not paying us to advertise, I promise.
If you ever want to think about it, let me know.
Yeah, he's been absolutely addicted to it. He's been saying so. I'm kind of curious about
Okay. He's usually got good taste, so we'll find out.
it. Yeah,
Did you have any problems getting hold of your copy? Did availability seem okay to you? Or...
for Star Fox. Well, Sai actually had a spare, so I bought it from him. So,
Oh, is this where he pre-ordered it from our favourite people, Amazon, and they've got that pre-order guarantee where if the price drops during the period you have the pre-order, you get it at the lowest price.
oh yeah,
Well, anyway, the game came out, people's cards got charged, and they shipped Star Fox, and then they dropped the price on Star Fox on the day of release, and it went down. It was something like £7.30 cheaper. So some people were just, as soon as their package arrived, they were just sending it back and reordering it at £7.30 cheaper.
yeah.
I think he's one of those where he reordered, and then instead of, sending his other one back, he sold it on to you.
Yeah.
Which is every party was happy, so
Yeah, I was very happy.
exactly. So that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's like I was umming and ahhing about getting it all week, and and then I saw his post. I was like, okay, if Sai's got one sale, I'll definitely buy it from him.
Yeah, I'd rather the money goes in Sai's pocket than Amazon's pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the same with Mario Maker.
Oh, speaking of Ratchet and Clank, two separate companies lost the business on that one. So, because I live rural now, I
Mm.
wanted to pre-order it from Amazon for two reasons. Well, a couple of reasons. One, they had the lowest price, which always helps. Two, I they seem to have this big thing about getting it there for release dates now.
Oh yeah.
And a few people had said that recent games from them had come, a day or two early. So I was like, oh, I'll chance it. And also, free, it saved me like having to go. Well, the Saturday I'd have had to have gone into one of the villages near here to try and find it at one of the supermarkets. I actually cancelled that pre-order because it got to Wednesday night. Bear in mind, it was meant to dispatch on Wednesday for first class posts on Thursday to then get here for Friday at the
Mm.
latest. And it was about 8, 9 p.m. on Wednesday, and they hadn't even dispatched it. So I was like, there's no chance of that getting here for Friday, and cancelled it. Um, at which point, someone at work told me that the office actually has, because the office I'm at now isn't in town. It's out on the outskirts still.
Yeah.
But they do a free lunchtime bus into town, so I thought, great, I'll just get on my lunch break, hop on that, um, grab the game, hop literally back on the same bus, because they do it. It's like one leaves at 12, and then like one gets back at 12:30, 1 o'clock, so on and so forth, right the way up till 2. So I can still be back at work for 12:30. Went into game. They want. Bear in mind, Amazon's price for it was 27.
Oh yeah.
I think Shop 2 tried to undercut them at £26 something.
Yeah.
Shop 2 I tried to pre-order from, but they wouldn't let me change my address because I haven't ordered two things on the same card from them. And A, my card hasn't changed, and B, I'm not ordering something to an address I no longer live at just so I can then update my address with them. It's a backwards
Yeah.
system. Their customer services were no help at all. They were just like, "Oh, that's our policy to prevent fraud." It's like, well, I can never shop with you again, then, can I?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So Shop 2 lost the business. Then Amazon lost the business because they said they'd dispatch Wednesday and they didn't. And then I went into game and they wanted 30 fucking 5 for it.
Eesh.
Yeah, I literally, it was quite amusing. I walked in there, I had money in my hand. I picked it up off the shelf, saw the price tag, put it back on the shelf, turned around on the spot, and walked back out.
So where did you end up getting it from in the end?
Well, there's a HMV 4 doors down,
Oh, okay. How much was it there?
29.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, it was more or less the same price as Amazon. I was like, yeah, just fucking 29, give it here. Fuck game, you greedy bastards, you know? Um,
Yeah, that's not as bad as CEX. You know those Nintendo Selects games for 3DS where they're like £16 brand new?
I thought it was 19.99 new, but 16, even better.
Oh no, it's 19.99 for the Wii U ones, about £16 for the 3DS ones, and
Okay.
they were charging £20 for second-hand Nintendo Selects games for 3DS and CEX.
Fuck right off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, do your research before buying things, please.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're in the age of smartphones now, so if you're in a shop and you see a price and you think and you're in an R in, have a quick look online.
Here's the thing I'd say against that, though. Remember that even for the same companies, this can happen because Game was $34.99 in store, but their online orders for Ratchet and Clank were $29.99. And this is something I've brought up with Game before because their online and in-store prices don't match a lot of the time.
Yeah,
And what they'll tell you is obviously in a warehouse versus a brick and mortar shop, the overheads are entirely different. So typically they will charge more in the physical store because that physical store costs them more to keep going than a distribution warehouse.
Hmm.
So the prices are higher to reflect that. And then they wonder why everyone's going online instead of going into their store. Well, same
Yeah,
thing, same company, two different prices. Ridiculous.
exactly. And you think the amount of the gamer demographic that just would prefer not to go outside as well, like online, appeals to that side too.
And you think, like, what I just told you about. I was in their shop, money in my hand, the product in my hand, and I was like, hang on, they want, you know, £7-8 more for this than anyone else does. I'm not giving them that.
Yeah.
If it was like a mum and pop shop, like if it was a little indie store like Size or something, then maybe I'd have gone the extra because I know they've got much tighter margins to fill. But when it's a big company like Game, fuck them.
Oh yeah, I could not agree more.
Yeah. At which point do they become a big company? Well, that's debatable. At which point would you stop the goodwill towards Psy? I don't think I would, actually. He's a decent bloke. But, again, we are not sponsored. Um, but, yeah. And while we're on fuck Amazon,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
whole deal about third-party sellers for games. So this is something that literally cropped up overnight. Videogamer.com picked up on it, then Eurogamer.net sort of posted about it themselves after verifying it, and Eurogamer is where I first heard about it. Which I spend a lot of time on that website, probably too much, but no, essentially, certain games like Grand Theft Auto 5, Minecraft, Shadows of Mordor, you can now only order directly from Amazon if you're a Prime member. If you're not a Prime member, you can still buy it, but you can only buy it through the third-party sellers. Bearing in mind, the third-party sellers are usually undercutting Amazon's own price anyway, but that seems like a scary move to me. I mean, they're starting with video games, but I can see them spreading this out to other parts of Amazon. Like, originally they had, oh, you can get Amazon Video for X amount a month. Oh, you can have Amazon Prime for next day shipping for X amount a month.
Yeah.
Then they combined the two into one service at $49 for a year, but there was a monthly payment option, which was the equivalent of about $79 a year. Now, no monthly option, the annual subscription is $79. The two things are bundled together, so the element of choice is taken away. And now to try and force more and more people onto it, they seem to be saying, well, fuck you, you can't buy video games directly from us now because you're not paying this asinine subscription. I think that it's them getting too big for their damn boots and actually getting a bit cocky. I would love to see this blow up in their stupid fucking faces.
I just don't get the logic behind it. I mean,
You
it's
can't buy it from us, but you can buy it from this guy instead. What? Can you imagine going
exactly.
into Tesco, right, and being like, oh, sorry, you can't buy this mince beef. You can buy this Sainsbury's mince beef, which you can put it through our checkout, and we'll take a 20% cut, and the rest goes to Sainsbury's. It's essentially what we got here.
I would just love to know like how the conversation went in the boardroom meeting where they decided this. It's just like, hey, you want to know, you want to start losing customers?
You know, when someone brings a product to our till with money in their hand, we make them feel like a second-class citizen, and we tell them, no, you can't buy that because you're not part of our special club, so fuck off. That's going to generate loads of loyalty. You're going to have so many new customers coming through that, and your existing ones are going to feel really fucking appreciated. Well done. It's
Oh,
madness.
I know. It's like they decided they hate money.
How quickly do you think it'll be until it gets withdrawn? It might even be withdrawn by the time this episode is edited and goes live.
It would not surprise me. I mean, this kind of practice is just so archaic. I mean, like Jim, it's like you remember Xbox Live and the reason you ended up switching from Xbox to PlayStation.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let me watch Netflix without Xbox Live Gold. Also, well, the information is going from Netflix's servers to the Xbox. You're not involved in that in any way. The data never passes through you. So why the fuck should you have a slice of that pie? And their response was, if you don't like the way we do things, and you're saying, well, PlayStation at the time offered it for free without having to have PlayStation Plus, and obviously Nintendo on the Wii, you could have it for free. Then go get one of their consoles, and that's exactly what I did. You wanna argue that? I'll just go do it. I actually posted them the receipt for the trade as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was stapled together was their original letter, the receipts, and a letter from me that said, in response to your correspondence of, and then the date that they wrote to me, and then I just put one word, okay.
Oh man, I really wish I was the employee at the company who got to read that.
Yeah, just open that up and be like, wow, Jerry just got fucking owned. Because you know it won't be the same guy who sent the snotty letter.
No. And Microsoft learned from that, and they took that paywall away.
They did. I wouldn't like to say it was my individual case.
Oh
I'm,
no,
I'm not quite arrogant enough to say that I, as an individual, burned them so hard.
no, I'm not saying that they learned from that specific anecdote. I just meant in general.
Yeah.
But
I
and
can't see me being the only one who did it.
yeah, and since then, on top of that, they did the whole games with gold thing to try and compete with PlayStation Plus. So they could
Yeah, and
tell that.
actually the quality of the games they've been offering has now gone past the quality of games that Plus is offering. I'll
Yeah,
admit, I used to be like feverishly every month, oh, what are we getting on Plus? And now I'm like, maybe one of these will be at least okay, hopefully.
yeah. Although you did get Zombie, and apparently, and that's quite good.
It's a bit slow.
Yeah.
Is that weird to say about a zombie game?
I think it's kind of meant to be.
Yeah. I can't get into it. It's one of those games everyone says, oh, I like this. I just can't get into it.
Yeah, I was the same as well. That's actually one of the games I traded in to put towards Star Fox today.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I can't blame you.
Yeah, like
Um,
it's okay, but I just can't get into it.
well, I'm hoping I will be able to get into the new Fear Effect game when that eventually comes out.
Oh yeah, have you backed that yet?
No, I keep looking. It's essentially a £15 pre-order. Um, if you want a digital copy of the game, which is fine. But it's Fear Effect, so I'll probably like it anyway. I liked 1 and 2 on the PlayStation, so I've got no reason to not like this one. Well, unless they cock it up, I guess. They could do that. They could completely fuck it up.
Well,
And then
I
I
mean,
wouldn't
it's a
like
different
it.
development team and it's a smaller budget, so there is that.
Yeah. But the thing that's mainly putting me off is, one, I don't necessarily think they need the money. I mean, I look at where they are, I look at what their goal is, I look at how many backers they've got, how much time there is to go. I'm just thinking, they'll fucking hit that without me. You know, it's not like, yeah, go little guy, you show. It's like, they've got this. Especially with
Yeah.
the amount of publicity it's getting, they've got it. It's fine, it'll go through. I've got a reminder set on it just in case it gets to like the last 24 hours and they're still a ways away. Then I might shit myself and be like, oh shit, back.
Yeah. Back and share, back and share.
Yeah. Let's do this, guys. We can swap it around. It's one of the reasons you see actually Kickstarters have a huge influx at the start, huge influx at the end, and fuck all in the middle.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
At this rate, with Shenmue 3 and this and Ukulele, you're going to have like a load of games coming to you in like 2 years.
Well, that's the other reason I haven't backed yet. I don't have Shenmue or Ukulele yet.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to. Here's what's happening. I'm building up a backlog before they've even finished making the fucking games that are part of the backlog.
I mean, at least they're taking their time and doing quality control, which is something more studios should really frickin' do these days.
I tell you what, I'm glad I didn't back Mighty Number 9 because I still wouldn't have that fucker either.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, that's got delayed again.
Yeah, although I'm surprised how much that's taken off. Like the fact they're getting physical releases on consoles and stuff. Like that must have done quite well.
Well, I played a build of that. I think I talked about it on the podcast. I played a build of that May last year.
Yeah,
And my response to it was overwhelmingly negative. I
yeah.
didn't enjoy what I played. It felt horrible. The, Mighty himself, at least in the build I played, moved like a cement brick. You couldn't shift the guy.
Yeesh.
Yeah, he felt so heavy and clunky to control. Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Damn. I'm
Bloody
just looking.
terrible.
Yeah, I'm just looking online and like, there's not even a sort of, yeah, a release date on there at the moment.
Yeah, it's it was such a disappointing demo. I was quite excited to play. I was like, "Oh my god, my number nine's here! I can play this? Oh wow, this is like new Mega Man from the guy behind Mega Man. This is amazing." And I
Yeah.
sat there like, "This is gonna get good, right? Like this isn't it, right?" And you go through this Rolodex in your head, like, "Well, it's an unfinished build. Well, it's a pro." It's like, well, if they're confident enough to show it, then they
Mm.
must be kind of happy with this. It must be somewhat resemblant of the final product. Well, this is shit, you know?
Yeah. Just while we're on the subject of like games we're sort of speculating over, is there anything that you're looking forward to this year? Because I've been struggling to think of much.
Well,
I mean,
Ratchet
you've
and
just
Clank came out Friday, so
yeah,
that I've been looking forward to that game since they announced that there'd be a new Ratchet and Clank, like Into the Nexus on PS3. I got it for Christmas while I was away in Norfolk visiting you lot. Um, and it ruined my New Year because the entire time I just wanted to get back home and play it because I didn't take my PS3 with me. So it's like, yeah, yeah, that's great, Auntie. That's fantastic. I want to play my video game. I want to go home. And then when I did get to play it, I did exactly what I did with this one. I devoured it in like 48 hours. And just sat and played it straight. And I knew I'd do that again with this one. So it's my game of the year so far.
yeah.
Um, Uncharted 4, however, is out in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna be
Uncharted
so
4 is out
annoyed.
on May the 10th. My birthday is May 25th.
Ah,
And I don't have to come visit you lot until May 27th. So
don't have to.
the thing is, because I visit annually, like at least once a year, I come down to Norfolk. It does get to a point where you're like, oh, it's time for that again, is it? You know, it's
Yeah.
it's not like you're going on holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to France. I've never been to France before. This could be exciting. It's like, I'm going to fucking Norwich. You know, not much has changed.
I
Could
know. Oh, it's like the other day. Like me, me and some of the other film shoots were doing some filming in Great Yarmouth, just up the road from Norwich, and like it was freezing, it was raining, it was just generally horrible. But at least we had a reason to be there. But there were people out there with their kids there. I was thinking, what is wrong with you? Why are you here?
no, I can't talk. August last year, Maya's third birthday. We took the car out to Bournemouth for the day.
Hmm.
Well, we'll have a day out. I had time off work, so why not? And we got there and it was raining, and we did this very British thing of, no, it's still technically summertime. We're British. We drove all the way here. It is her birthday. We promised her she could play on the beach and build a sandcastle, so damn it, we are getting out these deck chairs. We are sitting in the rain, and she is building a damn sandcastle.
Oh God.
She was quite happy, to be fair. The kid didn't mind. He thought it was amazing. Um,
Well, kids enjoy rain.
so,
Weirdly.
but and a funny story about Great Yarmouth. Back when I was doing my graphic design course at City College, Norwich,
Mm.
um, they didn't tell us much. They just said that we had a field trip. They loaded us onto a bus. They drove us to Great Yarmouth, and they said, right, the next project you're doing is based on like a dystopian apocalypse, sort of like your Mad Max kind of deal. and we thought, what's the most rundown shithole in Norfolk that we can take you to for reference photos?
Brilliant.
Welcome to Great Yarmouth.
Oh God, it's like at Britannia Pier. They always have these posters up of comedy acts, but they're like old posters advertising shows that they've already done months ago.
You're there in 2015. Jimmy Carr's 2013 tour.
Exactly, which adds to the whole dystopian apocalyptic thing.
That's great. Cheers for that, love. Yeah. I'll book tickets. I'll in my
Yeah.
time machine. It'll be great.
Oh
Plus, I
God.
can get the DVD of that one, you know.
Yeah. By the way, his latest thing on Netflix, so funny. You should watch it.
Yeah, it was alright.
Uh,
Not his best.
I don't know. His joke about Rachel Riley had me in stitches.
Okay. So, gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, games we're looking forward to this year. So you've had Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, yeah, Uncharted 4,
Yeah.
which is in like 2 weeks. And then, what else is out this year? I'm gonna tell you what, you give me your answers. I'm gonna pull up a list of game releases for this year.
Okay. I'm kind of doing the same as well because I'm having trouble thinking. I mean, off the top of my...
Why did you ask me this question if you were ill prepared?
Well, off the top of my head, there's the new Ninja Turtles game that's coming out, Mutants in Manhattan. That looks really good.
Oh yeah, that could be alright, true.
And basically, I'm always singing the praises of Platinum Games, and they're the ones making it, so I've got confidence in it.
Oh god, what is this Yokai Watch thing? Apparently that's out soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I look at the art of it, I'm just like, is this Pokemon?
Yeah, Platinum Games, Mutant Ninja Turtles, that could be good.
Yeah.
Valkyria Chronicles is getting a remaster on PS4, that could be alright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Prison
there's...
Architect, isn't that already out?
What's that?
Prison Architect is listed here, isn't that already out?
I've not even heard of that.
It's like Theme Hospital, but a prison.
That sounds pretty cool. I actually want to try that.
Oh, it's in early access at the moment, and it releases properly on June 3rd. That's when it comes out of early access.
Prison Access. I'm on Steam right now looking this up.
Prison Architect.
Prison Architect.
Yeah. Rocket League is listed for a 24th of June release. I'm pretty sure that's out. I've got
Yeah.
it, you know.
Oh,
No
yeah.
Man's Sky, that's in June, but I still don't really know a lot about it other than fly around and look at some planets.
Yeah, that's all I'm getting from it as well.
There's a new Star Ocean coming out. There's a new Deus Ex coming out. I still haven't fucking played the last Deus Ex.
Yeah, me neither. That's another one of those games that every time I play it, I was like, this game is pretty cool, but then like I never get the motivation to go back to it.
Yeah, I saved the hostages
Kind of
the
like with you and
first time
Bioshock.
round, make an absolute mess of it, and then just stop playing.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15, of course. I've got a pre-order on that.
Oh yeah, I wonder if this one's actually going to come to PC because I mean the 13 trilogy have, and obviously 14, but that was an MMO, so of course it's going to.
I don't know. I downloaded the Platinum demo on PS4, which they released for free.
Yeah.
I completed the Platinum demo, and that was actually pretty good.
Oh really?
So I was like, well, you know, I kind of want that.
Yeah. See, Square seems to be a lot about PC at the moment, so I'm hoping it comes. I'm hoping that comes to PC as well because I'm kind of eyeing it up a bit.
They also did this horrible thing where Carbuncle is in the game,
Oh yeah.
and if you beat the demo, then you unlock Carbuncle for the main game. So it's like, shit, I've already unlocked stuff for the main game. I sort of have to get it now, so I don't let that unlock go to waste.
Oh, those sneaky buggers.
Do you remember Constructor on the PlayStation?
I've seen it a couple of times, but I've never really tried it.
It's sort of like an alternate Sim City, but it took up an entire memory card.
Oh damn.
Yeah. That is getting Constructor HD is coming out on PS4.
All right.
There's a Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh, I've just started the first one recently.
That's so good.
It really is.
Yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda is supposedly this year at some point.
Yeah, not sure.
Okay.
Tentative.
Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. Now, I've played the other two Sword Art Online PS4 games. So you've got Hollow Fragment and Lost Song, and they're actually pretty decent for what
Oh,
they are.
okay.
So that's going on my list. And Dragon Quest 7 and 8 are coming out on 3DS. Obviously, Dragon
Oh,
Quest 8 I've got on PS2 anyway, but Dragon Quest 7 I've not played.
yeah. I've never played any of the Dragon Quest games.
Oh, you need to.
Yeah,
Proper RPGs. Proper
yeah.
RPGs.
And Akira Toriyama style artwork. In fact, did he actually do it himself, or is it just based on his style?
No, Toriyama did do a lot of the character art and stuff.
Cool.
Oh, that's the point. Yakuza 0 is supposed to be hitting PS4. I think it's only coming out as digital, but Yakuza 5 hit PlayStation 3 late last year. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale because I'm not paying $32.99 for a digital copy of it.
Oof.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck that.
There's
And
Doom.
I've
There's Doom at some point next month. I'm kind of interested in that.
I'm not. There's a lot of the obviously there's beta access from my copy of Wolfenstein,
Oh yeah.
and what I found is it's done certain things like how the aiming and looking down your scope and stuff works to appease people who are used to modern FPSs.
Oh, Call of Duty.
Yeah, while still trying to do the slightly increased speed and frantic movement of like Doom, Quake Arena, Unreal Tournament, etc. And it's this annoying mix where it's not going to make either camp happy. It's just compromising on everything and trying to be in the middle, and it
Oh,
comes off as being entirely unremarkable.
that's a shame. Because I mean, after how good like the Wolfenstein games were, I was thinking, I was hoping that ID was going to pop out another gem.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, but it is half-hearted. It's like, oh, we really want to do, old school Doom. Oh, hang on, the stockholders want us to look after the COD kids, so let's
Yeah.
dial it back a bit, but not all the way because we don't want to be COD, and we'll sit in this awkward limbo. It just doesn't work. Sorry.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I feel like I just took a kid's favourite toy off them and smashed it in front of them.
Well. There's the new Pokemon games this year.
Sun and Moon this year.
Yeah.
I should probably finish X then.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that might be an idea. And
Yeah, and Alpha
White
Sapphire. I've got
2.
that to get through too.
Yeah, I haven't finished White 2. So.
Hmm.
In fact, most of the Pokemon games. Everything after Black, basically.
Yeah, I've still not finished anything like from after Gen 2.
Jesus.
Actually, no, I did do well.
Not
No, that
even Ruby and Sapphire?
no, but I've got Alpha Sapphire now, so I'm making up for
Okay,
that.
fair enough. Um, so yeah, those are games we're looking forward to. And then, of course, October, PlayStation rollout, PlayStation VR, which I'm going to skip. And
Yeah.
along with that, supposedly, the PlayStation 4K or the PlayStation Neo, which
Ugh.
it's rumored to support 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. Bitch, please. Do you know how expensive that hardware would be? Terry's the hardware guy, so I'm going to let him break this down for you. Terry, you have the floor.
Well,
This is why you're here. Like, the sole reason. There's no other reason to have you
well,
here.
let's see. The current PS4 struggles to run games at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So, and that's selling for what, £250 if it's not bundled with anything at 500 gig, brand new,
Well, you can
something like
get a
that.
Ratchet and Clank bundle,
Yeah.
which is $279.99. You get the PlayStation 4. I
Mhm.
believe it's the 500 gig model, not the 1 terabyte model.
Yeah.
Plus Ratchet and Clank, plus 2 official controllers, so that's 27999.
That's not
Not
bad.
sponsored. Not sponsored. We are not paid off by anybody.
So, okay, so they're saying that they're going to upgrade the hardware so it can run games at 4K. I I've seen people have to spend about a couple of grand to get a PC to run games at 4K, like every game. I mean, obviously, if we're talking something like Super Meat Boy, then obviously that's not going to take much to run at 4K. Let's be honest. But if we're talking like your Metal Gear Solid 5s, that kind of thing, it's it's not going to be anywhere close to that £300 mark. You're looking at more like 500, 600,
The thing
unless.
is, I think when you look at what's necessary, okay, if you look at what's necessary on a PC, you have to dial it back a bit because a console is a dedicated machine. It's running the game, and that's about it. It doesn't have to worry about DOS and background processes and whatnot as much, and therefore it doesn't need the same horsepower as a PC to run the same game. I get that. Like if I'm playing Ratchet and Clank, which is really good and everybody should get, hashtag not sponsored. And the missus says, dinner's ready, turn your game off for a minute and we'll watch some Netflix. If I switch to the Netflix app, the PlayStation actually suspends the Ratchet and Clank app, as it sees it, to run Netflix.
Oh, right.
So it doesn't actually run both at the same time. It just sort of puts Ratchet and Clank on hold to answer
Yeah.
another call. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's pretty handy.
So you wouldn't need the same innards
Yeah.
to run, 4K games on a PlayStation 4. But even then, the price point would have to be so high because I know the PS4s when they came out, well, pretty much every console Sony's ever done, they've taken a loss on the console for ages because the costs of components have been so high that they can't possibly retail it at a profit.
Yeah. And on top of that, to be honest, I reckon they're just going to dick over console consumers by basically releasing it where it's not actually running the games at 4K, it's just upscaling them to 4K. Like how last gen, all the consoles were running games at like 640p, but on the box it said 1080p because it was upscaling to that.
Okay, did not know that, but
Yeah, no, I don't think there were really any native 1080p games on any consoles last gen.
although according to DidYouKnowGaming.com's recent video on Okami, the
Mhm.
PlayStation 3 remake of Okami, or re-release rather, like the HD version,
Oh yeah.
supposedly is rendered at 4K and then downscaled to 1080p.
Well, I guess with that would probably be possible considering it's just, an upgraded version of a PS2 game. So, yeah, it's a bit different from like your Metal Gear Solid 4s and stuff.
True. But it just struck me as odd, that little, like, when they said that, I was like, your information is usually spot on, Did You Know Gaming, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but that doesn't fucking sound right.
Yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt as well. But I don't know. On top of that as well, like, if this ends up being like the new 3DS thing, then we're going to see some issues with splitting the install base. And as someone who's worked in game retail as well, when, like, not every customer is going to be like me and Sam, where we sort of know our shit about games. There's going to be a lot of like
Knowing our
grandmas and
shit, that's a stretch.
well, okay, well,
We ramble and we pretend to know.
comparatively speaking, to compared to other demographics like your mothers and grandmothers and fathers and grandfathers who aren't into games but are buying it for their kids or grandkids, and they're just like in the shop just trying to work out what the bloody hell they need to get. It's, like I've had
So I've just, ever since you started going through that list, I've got move in, now move out, hands up, hands down, back up, tell me what you're going to do now, going through my head because of that bit where they're like, pimp daddies, hot mamas, and everybody all around the world. Just while you were going through that list, it's like, and the people who don't give a fuck.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I know exactly why, because they're listing off types of people and you were listing off types of people.
Yeah. Let's see.
It prevented me from taking you entirely seriously.
I don't think I've ever known you to take me seriously, so it's fine. No change there.
I ask you advice about PCs, usually.
Yeah, sometimes I get it right.
Other times you completely dig me over.
Well, no, most of the time I get it right, and when I don't, it's more of a case of I don't know. Ask Peter.
Beep.
Yeah, but yeah, like so. I had to deal with customers that were just like, this console box says 500 GB, this console box says 1 TB. What does that mean? And
One has double the hard drive space of the
yeah,
other.
yeah,
Done.
exactly. You explain that, but nope, that still confuses them. Believe me, there's so many people that just do not understand storage capacity. So you
Yeah,
think,
and 500 gig on a PS4, not enough. I've had mine 2 years now, and I'm
yeah,
already having to, because the read speed from Blu-rays is quite low, all of the games have mandatory installs, literally the entire fucking game installs. And I tested this out because I have Infamous First Light and Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes on disc, and both games have been part of PlayStation Plus, so I've got downloads available for them. So I had the disc copies installed, and I noted down how big they were. And it's really stupid. Before you can download the digital copies, you have to uninstall your disc copies for some fucking reason.
huh.
So I uninstall the disc copies, I go onto PSN, and I download the digital copies. Exact same amount of space on my hard drive. Like, precisely the same. So if I look on my hard drive right now, I can tell you off the top of my head, Batman Arkham Knight is taking up the most space on there. That's taking up 73 gig.
Jesus, I
Yeah,
don't think
bearing in
even my
mind I've got the
PC
Season
version
Pass
is.
content on there. The
Yeah,
Season Pass content is a good 10 gig of that, but the base game is at least 60.
okay, I've got the PC version with all the season pass content, and even that isn't taking up that much space. It's like 56 gig,
Wow.
and that
Wolfenstein, the New Order, is like 47.
no way.
Yeah, 47 gig on my PlayStation 4 hard drive for Wolfenstein. I have to, when I finish New Order and want to start Old Blood, I'm going to have to uninstall New Order to then install Old Blood.
Yeah, Peter got the PC version on disc, and it came with 5 DVDs, and there was still like a good few gig to download after installing from those DVDs.
Jesus. Yeah, a 500 gigabyte hard drive just does not cut it on a
No,
PS4.
but at least on
I'm
the PS4 you can upgrade it. On the Xbox One, you
yeah.
can't even upgrade.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
there's
like I put in Ratchet and Clank for the first time, really excited, and it's like, oh, sorry, you can't play this game because there's not enough room to install it. I had to trawl through my hard drive and fucking uninstall shit to play Ratchet and Clank.
exactly. So like, there's this to contend with for console players now, and then there's like basically working out whether they need the PS4K or whether they can just get the PS4 or whatever. And
Well,
like,
can I say one thing?
yeah,
This isn't like the 3DS and the new 3DS, where the new 3DS has exclusive games.
they've
They've
definitely
already
confirmed that.
stated that what they want is for all games to run on the base PS4, but for each game to come installed with a Neo mode. So basically, you put the disc in, and
Yeah.
it detects if you're running on a normal PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Neo. And if it detects that it's a Neo, that will then, try to render at 1080p or whatever. And it will have, instead of 30 frames per second, it'll push for the 60. So that's what they want to do. They don't want to have exclusive games. They've said that already, according to Eurogamer.
Yeah, there's still a potential problem though. Like there's the issue that Hyrule Warriors had on the 3DS, where if you played it on the old version of the 3DS, it ran horribly, dropping to like 10 frames per second at some times. It should have just been marked as an exclusive new 3DS game, quite frankly, because it's that horrible on the old version. And I'm just concerned that this is going to happen with the PS4, that the old version is going to end up having games not running very well because they've made it for the new platform and not bothered to optimize it for the old one.
Here's the thing, though. Alright? I'm looking at Ratchet and Clank, which is a fucking beautiful game, by all means. It feels like playing a Pixar movie.
Yeah,
Um, we are not sponsored, although I do love pretty much everything Insomniac has ever made.
yeah,
I think the Resistance series is probably the only thing from Insomniac that I've not absolutely adored.
yeah.
Um, and that's just because I don't like FPSs and Gears of War types. So it just doesn't do anything for me. But I'm looking at the stuff for Uncharted 4, and I know it's trailers, and I know screenshots have probably been prettied up and stuff, but goddamn, does that look amazing. I'm just thinking, if you can push that on the base system, what more do you really fucking want?
It's not. It's not so much that. It's just more like, for example, I've got a PC that outperforms any console that's out now, but thanks to developers being really crappy and not optimizing their PC ports very well, we've got instances like the Arkham Knight release where it just did not run properly.
Alright, Arkham Knight, fantastic example. Arkham Knight on PS4 runs like silked butter and looks drop dead gorgeous.
Mm.
Far Cry 4. It looks amazing, runs solid. And I'm just
I'm,
thinking,
you're missing the point I'm trying to make though. It's not about like how good it looks. It's about things like how well it runs. The frame rates,
well, I
just
just said
everything in
it
general.
runs like silked butter.
Yeah.
Infamous Second Son being another great example. The PS4 can already do a hell of a lot. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
see how
I
much more the Neo can really add.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't doubt the PS4's capabilities. It's just I'm concerned that they're going to be developing with the Neo as the base platform and then downscaling to the PS4, which will end up with the games not running so well on the PS4 as a base system due to the fact that they're just being lazy with optimization.
Well, let's hope they do it the other way around.
Let's hope, but based on what we've observed of modern developer practices, it's a bit concerning to say the least.
Fair enough. Actually, this conversation leads us nicely on to Lupacillo's first question, which is, what do you think will be the future for PlayStation and Xbox lines in the Western world? They seem to have settled in the rut of appealing to the third-party customers and publishers with little first-party development so far, a path that inevitably will lead to loss of profitability in the long run. So, I disagree with the first-party comment for PlayStation because, again, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted 4, PlayStation VR and all the titles coming out for that. They do seem to... Knack, Infamous, Killzone. These are all good games, all exclusive games,
Yeah, although technically Ratchet and Clank is technically third party.
but first-party supported.
Oh yeah, first party
Hence the
supported.
exclusivity.
Yeah, but like
It comes
Insomniac is
up as soon as you boot it.
yeah.
Sony Computer Entertainment presents.
Oh yeah, but
And it's Sony who are putting out the movie next week.
yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's just like, for example, they made Sunset Overdrive Xbox One exclusive, so technically that would be Microsoft first party.
Okay. Well, I think the platform holders are making a point to have
Oh
exclusives.
yeah, but I know what you mean. What you're saying when it
Like
comes
Xbox,
to like
admittedly,
Uncharted, especially,
Quantum Break, Dead Rising 3, although Dead Rising 3 is made by Capcom.
and it's on PC, so that doesn't count.
Well, apparently it still counts as a console exclusive. Just ask Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that doesn't even count as a console exclusive. It's on 360.
Yeah, and it's a timed exclusive as well.
Yeah.
We're getting it.
Plus the term.
That's something I'm looking forward to this year, actually. Finally playing Rise of the Tomb Raider on PS4.
You could have played it on PC for ages if you were that bothered about the game.
I'm not that bothered.
Exactly.
Uncharted 4 will be a better Rise of the Tomb Raider than Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm quite confident about that.
Oh, totally. But yeah, in regards to that whole exclusivity thing, it's like when people say, "Oh, it's a console exclusive." It's like if I can play a game that happens to be on Xbox One without owning an Xbox One, it's not an Xbox One exclusive.
I'll
That's it.
agree with that. And that's why I'm quite happy with, Knack, Infamous, Killzone, Ratchet and Clank. Can you play any of those on something other than a PS4?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Richie, I know you're listening. Buy a PS4, damn it. Just do it already. We all know you're going to. Sophie won't mind. It's fine. If she gets mad, blame me. I'm a 4.5 hour drive away. She'll be angry. She won't be that angry. There's no way she'll be like, I'm getting in a car. I'm going over there and having words.
Yeah. with the whole future thing, like at the moment, Microsoft seems to be trying to play this whole, oh, we want to get back involved with PC gaming thing, but once again, they're messing it up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Although, there's a bit on there about they seem to have settled into a rut. Well, PlayStation want to release the Neo, which is supposedly better hardware, and they're really trying to push the PlayStation VR in October. So I would disagree. I would disagree with both the points of PlayStation being stuck in a rut and PlayStation not having strong exclusives. Lupacillo, what are you smoking? Although to be fair, this question was from 4 months ago, where we didn't really know much. Well, no, we knew the PlayStation VR. We didn't know a lot about it, but we knew about it.
I think the VR.
Admittedly, we didn't know about the Neo, but all these exclusives we knew about. So yeah, what were you smoking? Sorry, what were
Yeah.
you saying, Terry?
I think virtual reality, it's one of those things that keeps coming and going away and coming back in different forms, just like 3D. I think it's just going to be another one of those things. It's going to be this generation's motion sensors.
Well, I tried an Oculus at a trade show. Well, I went to a trade show with work, and one of the technologies they were showing was the Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, they had like this virtual fire safety training on it,
Huh.
where you're in an office and the office is on fire, and you have to like go through the whole thing of putting on the high vis jacket, yelling people towards the exit, breaking the fire alarm, picking the right extinguisher for the type of fire, and all that. That was really jarring. First of all, there's the whole thing of me being blind in one eye. So, how the Oculus works is that it sends one set of pixels to the left, one set of pixels to the right, to imitate, obviously, the fact that you've actually got two windows of vision in the real world. Obviously, I've only got one, so that resulted in me having something of a ghosting effect while using it,
Oh.
which was just distracting. Like, I could not read text in game.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do it. Like, trying to pick the right fire extinguisher, I ended up doing it on the lit. I'm like, that's the little one, so it's the little fire extinguisher for electrical fires,
Yeah.
not the big one. The big one's for cardboard and shit, you know. At least I think that's the right way around. Thinking back, and I had really bad motion sickness for a good 2 hours, and I was only on the thing not even 10 minutes.
Oh, if that was a ghosting effect, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was one of my colleagues from work actually had to help me away from the stand.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and I was just. We went and sat in. There was a talk going on that we needed to go see anyway. So thankfully I got to sit down for a good half an hour. But I could walk around on my own after that, but I was wobbly.
Yeah.
So VR is not an option for me. I hope that's not where gaming goes, because I can't follow.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, it's it splits the install base because I don't. There's going to be a lot of people that VR doesn't work for based on issues with eyesight, that kind of thing. And on top of that, like the PlayStation VR is going to be about 400 quid, isn't it? Something like that, and it's the cheapest one apparently.
Yeah, you're looking at trying to think. The HTC Vive I think is about 569, and then I think the Steam's one is coming out. I think about the 600 mark, and then you've got the Oculus Rift, which I think is pushing 699 last I checked.
Yeah, I mean, think how few people wanted to buy an Xbox 360 Kinect, and how few developers wanted to develop for it because of the few people buying it.
Every
And
time I walk into game, I see reduced PlayStation cameras and PlayStation TVs. It's like, please, we'll give them to you. Just take them. We don't want them.
exactly, like I think I know about 5 people with Kinects, and none of them bought them for 360. They bought them to mess around with the 3D cameras. Like one person I knew from university, I believe he used it for his dissertation in engineering.
Well, you can pick the things up for like 10 quid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got a PlayStation 3 iCam, and I just use it as a webcam.
Yeah, same. I think you
Exactly.
sent me the custom drivers for it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unsigned drivers running on your PC. Don't do that at home, kids.
I thought they were signed.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain they are.
No. They're
Yeah.
fan written.
Yeah, but it's still signed.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I never got any warning about it anyway, and I've not had any issues, so.
Alright. I assumed they were unsigned, but
Yeah.
I was like, well, it came from Terry, so I'm just gonna. And he's tried it on his own machine. I'm just gonna go out on a limb.
Yeah.
See, I do give you some respect sometimes.
Thank
I'm
you.
not disrespectful to you 24/7.
Well, no, we don't talk to each other 24/7. That would be a bit weird. I think Joe might have an issue with that.
Alright, of the time that we speak to each other, I do not spend 100% of that time interacting with you, being disrespectful towards you.
Good. Thank you.
In fact, I spend a small margin of that time actively complimenting you. It is a very small margin, but it exists.
All right, I'll take that.
Yes.
Anyway, we were talking about predictions.
Predictions.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
PlayStation, they're still popping out good exclusives. They're going with all this PlayStation Neo and VR stuff that personally I don't think the Neo is going to be a good move for them. I don't think the VR is going to be a good move for them, but I don't think it's going to be bad enough to damn them into going out the console market. I mean, they survived the PS3 launch, and that was a train wreck.
The only thing that they need to do on the PS4 is sort out the rubber grips on the controllers. Those controllers are perfect, except for the rubber grips on the analog sticks wear down really quickly. In fact, I managed to split one of the rubber grips open while playing through Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's the left analog stick as well. It's the rubber grip has split.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
All right.
And I've had the thing like 2 years, and I don't play it as much as I'd like to.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, apparently it's quite a common thing as well. It's one of those things that happens to you, like, oh, what the fuck? So you Google it, and suddenly you find reams and reams of people going, fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, see, one controller I'd love to own, but it's just so expensive, is the Elite controller for Xbox One.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, Peter's got one, and it feels so good to use.
Alright, so those controllers, would you say they give you any edge in the actual game?
No, it just feels extremely comfortable to hold and use, and it's your primary it's your primary mode of interaction with the game. And if you're playing games a lot, then it's nice to have that feel good.
So it's in no way performance enhancing to have that controller.
Well, you can change the thumbstick so that, like, on some games you benefit from a longer thumbstick, and other games you benefit from a shorter thumbstick. We've actually practiced this a bit, although I can't remember which was which off the top of my head. On top of that, you can also change the D-pad. So, like, have you seen the picture of the default one where it's that weird kind of hexagonal thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that, and you also get a standard D-pad as well. So that's all modular. And there's these 4 back paddle buttons as well, so you can map them to be whatever you want.
Okay. So if two people were to go up against each other in the same game in a competitive setting, and one person was using an Elite controller and the other was using a plain controller, would you say the person with the Elite controller had an unfair advantage?
I'd say based on I'd say yes, just because of the modular back paddles and the changeable sticks.
Interesting, because what Lupacillo wants to know is that now that esports are becoming more legitimate, should contestants have to be tested for performance-enhancing drugs?
Well, that's a nice segue, but ceasefire moment. We haven't talked about the future of Xbox yet.
They don't have one.
Well, they're trying to go with this whole we're supporting PC games thing again, as I sort of lightly mentioned, and basically it's games for Windows Live all over again, pretty much.
You know their new head?
The new
guy with a gelled hair. I can't remember his goddamn name for the life in me. Help me out here.
I don't know, but carry on.
He's got really bad trendy art teacher vibes. He's like that friend's dad who's trying really hard to be cool. You're all hanging out in your friend's living room, and suddenly his dad comes through like, "Oh hey, is that the new PlayStation? Yeah, I just got one of those for the bedroom. Yeah, we've been playing that Call to Duty game. Yeah, it's really good." And you're like, "Fuck off, weird friend's dad." You know? He feels very much like that. He's creepy. I don't like him. Like, he's trying too hard. He's like, I'm down with the kids, yo.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
no, you're not. You clearly are not. I'm not the kids, and I can tell that you are not down with the kids. I don't
exactly.
think down with the kids is even the correct phrase at this point in time.
No, I don't think anyone would say that these days just because it sounds really wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's a
And
difference between getting down with the kids and going down.
Ah, anyway, yeah. So with that analogy in mind, so they're being all, yeah, we're cool, we know what you want. It's just like, no, you really don't. They're bringing former Xbox One exclusives over to PC, but they're putting them on the Windows 10 App Store. And on top of that, these releases are being completely messed up. Like, one of the games that was released on there was Rise of the Tomb Raider, a game that's already been successfully ported to PC and is distributed on Steam. No problems there at all. But you get the Windows 10 Store version and you get loads of bugs and glitches and stuff.
Yeah, and the performance is apparently worse too.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I, I don't want to touch any of those games with a barge pole, and I don't know anyone who does. And, like, when they were doing the whole Games for Windows Live thing, again, that was a deterrent. So, again, this is another one of those things that's
Yeah, and
just
when
going to
they
be a
finally
passing
phased
fad.
it out, I lost all of my fucking progress on the PC version of Arkham. I had to start
Yeah,
again on Steam.
oh, me too. I was so annoyed. I'd just done a hard playthrough and I was about to do New Game Plus.
Cockswogglers.
Yeah.
And for achievement hunters, you can no longer like triple stack that game anymore. You used to be
No.
able to do Xbox 360 Japanese version, Xbox 360 European version, Xbox 360 Japanese Game of the Year, Xbox 360 UK Game of the Year, um, Games for Windows Live Japanese version, Games for Windows Live UK version, Games for Windows Live Japanese Game of the Year, Games for Windows Live UK Game of the Year. So that was 8 times you could stack that game in trophies. You could get 8,000 gamer score out of doing Arkham 8 times.
And wouldn't your life feel so complete if you did that?
And now, because Games for Windows Live doesn't exist anymore, you can only stack Arkham Asylum 4 times.
Oh, the horror.
Yeah, I know. Your EP will suffer. Um,
But yeah, so word to the wise, don't touch those Windows 10 App Store versions of games. Your system won't like them.
can we go back to the X? I put in a lot of hard fucking work on that segue, and you completely pissed on it.
I acknowledge it was a good segue, but I think we rushed over to it too quickly. I mean, yes, we know you've got a PS4, but there are other consoles too.
Yeah, but they don't matter. So, performance-enhancing drugs. Should esports athletes be tested for them? And do caffeine drinks like Red Bull count as performance-enhancing drugs, despite being perfectly legal? I'm surprised that Red Bull and Monster and everything else is legal to begin with.
Yeah,
It's my answer to that part.
I'm just surprised that there isn't some hefty caffeine tax.
And on the other side of things, they're being considered legitimate athletes now. Some of them have even got visas on the basis of being athletes to move to the US. So, yeah, treat them like other athletes and do drugs testing on them as well. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on that one, really.
I mean, at the moment, there's a lot of talk about like like legal highs, for instance. There's a lot of talk about trying to ban them, but the issue with the legal highs is, for one, there's so many different variants that a lot of the time people are not completely sure what the hell they consist of. So it's like, okay, how do you legalize that? You can't just say, oh, all legal highs are banned, because then by that logic, you have to ban sugar, because technically you can get a sugar rush from having too much of that. You have to ban caffeine and alcohol
Oh,
as
I've got the
well.
song from Wreck-It Ralph stuck in my head now. SUGA, jump into your racing car.
God damn it.
Sugar rush.
You're in a very musical mood today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in a weird mood today.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's just like with caffeine, like, again, I just can't imagine banning that would really. I can't see how that's enforceable. I mean, how many people, have a cup of coffee in the morning, that kind of thing?
The thing is, if they ban legal highs, then surely that stops being a legal high.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes from being a legal high to an illegal high, and everybody and their fathers are groaning right now.
Yeah, it's things like MDMA and cannabis and all that sort of stuff. Like the legal authorities know what they are. They know what the chemical composition is, so therefore they can illegalize it. Whereas this other stuff, they haven't got a freaking clue.
Fair enough.
But that's
That's all I can say.
yeah. But in regards to the whole issue of whether they should be treated the same as athletes in more physical sports, then yeah, I agree with you on that definitely.
All right. I think that answers that one then.
Yeah.
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 Nice. All right. Well, in that case, I guess the only other thing is my question of the week, which I usually don't allow you to prepare for and spring on you
Oh
during the
yeah.
show. Yeah, nearly forgot about that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, top 5 favourite 3D platformers. Go.
Oh, top five. 3D. Okay.
They don't have to be in order.
Good.
There
Okay.
just has to be 5 of them.
Does there have to be one per franchise?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, all of mine will be Ratchet and Clanks.
Really?
Probably not, but still.
Yeah. Okay, let me think. You know what? Sonic Generations is going in there, definitely. I've played that more than any other 3D Sonic game. That's got to be in there. Um, with Crash Bandicoot, like I said earlier, 2 is my favourite, but I'm always alternating between 2 and 3. It's such a hard choice. I'm going to stick
If
with.
I had to go with the game that was objectively better, I would say 3. If I had to go with my favourite, I would say 2.
Oh, yeah.
So subjective 2, objective 3. Depends whether you want to go with the feels or the logic. You're Spock, you're in a dilemma.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 2 for nostalgia. It was my first PS1 game.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. So I've got Sonic Generations, I've got Crash Bandicoot 2. Oh, God, what the hell else? You know what? I freaking love Super Mario Sunshine.
Yes, I was gonna have that on my list, you bastard.
Oh, but you know what? I'm torn between. Actually, no, I'm torn between Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 3D World.
Oh.
Do-do-do.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3D World actually, mainly because I've had more exposure to it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 3 so far. God.
You're struggling more than I thought you would.
Yeah, well, I've named like the. Well, it's like I've got a Crash game, I've got a Mario game, I've got a Sonic game. They're like the big three. Oh dear. And like I've never really played many 3D platformers outside of those that I can think of off the top of my head. Uh,
I'm just looking at some on my shelf, so I'm just going to start shouting some at you to help you. A Bug's Life, Croc 2, Rayman 2, Rayman 3 for that matter. What else have I got on here? Oh, well, the first Rayman was a 2D platformer, wasn't it? Spyro, all the Spyros. Uh, the Sonics, you've already got a Sonic, so that's out. Um, Jersey Devil. No, Jersey Devil was fucking awful. Uh,
oh, I'm gonna go with Bugs Bunny Lost in Time.
yes, yes, absolutely. They did a sequel to that as well, which had Taz in it, so you had Bugs and Taz.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
can't
gonna have
remember
to
the
look
name
for
of it
that.
off the top of my head.
Oh damn, I'm gonna have to find that.
Yeah, I think it's got a red cover.
Okay.
Yeah, remember there being a red case for it. But yeah, so you've got 4. Are you going to reach a 5th?
Can I count Uncharted 2 as a platformer?
Fucking no.
3D platformers. I'm really.
Bubsy 3D.
Oh god, no. I'm really surprised that I can't think of more. Like,
I'm a little bit disappointed in you right now.
yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in me too. You know what?
Munch's Odyssey?
Oh god, no. That was.
Stranger's Wrath?
Oh god, those were not good Oddworld
It's
games.
Psychonauts!
I haven't played that much.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's
You
a
keep telling me to check it out, so.
well, yeah. I figured it'd be your type of game. Plus,
Banjo Kazooie! Donkey Kong 64!
yeah, I've still not played through those.
Fucking hell.
I know, I know. Well, I had Banjo Kazooie and Tooie on Xbox, but then my 360 buggered up, and I was just like, well, you know what? I don't care enough to replace this console.
Okay,
Uh,
fine.
uh,
Did you just knock your microphone stand?
yeah, sorry. I was just like patting my desk, and it moved, like just like thinking, just, oh god, and something just fell off it. I'll worry about that in a minute. Um, I
I feel
guess,
like I should save your desk from you.
yeah. You know what? Just because I can't think of anything else to get a fifth out there, I'm going to say Rodea the Sky Soldier because, hey, I took the time to Let's Play it, and like I said earlier, half the time I can't stand it, the other half the time I think it's amazing. There's never any in between. It's a really weird game.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Okay.
Okay?
Spyro 2, Gateway to Glimmer. Um, Jack and Daxter, The Precursor Legacy.
Yep.
Because you went with Crash Bandicoot 2, I kind of feel obliged to go with Crash Bandicoot 3, especially after saying just a few moments ago that it's technically the better game. So Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. So what have I had so far? Spyro 2, Crash 3,
Jack one.
Jack and Daxter. Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, easily the best Ratchet and Clank game.
Oh.
Yeah, so good, so good. You've already mentioned Super Mario Sunshine, so I don't really want to bring that one back up. But I am going to go Banjo Tooie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's my five. And I didn't even get into things like Rayman 2. Especially, I've got the Rayman Revolution, which is like the upgraded Rayman 2, sat here as part of the Rayman 10th Anniversary Triple Pack. Quite eager to play it because apparently they did make a fair few improvements.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Out of curiosity, in that triple pack, is it 3 separate discs or is it all like in one?
it's three separate discs, so you get a disc for Rayman M, a disc for Rayman 2 Revolution, and a disc for Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc.
I've been eyeing that up. I might get that.
Yeah, £6 I paid for it.
Not bad.
£2 a disc, basically.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
bad when you look at it that way.
yeah, pretty much. A Bug's Life on PlayStation 1 was also very good for a movie tie-in game.
Yeah, I liked the clever use of the scene from the movie where it's just like, you think this is just a game? Well, guess what? You just lost.
No, you forgot. Think this is just a game? Have you been playing all summer?
That's yes.
That was the bit that killed me because I had been playing all summer. How did he know? That was creepy.
Damn it, Hopper. Yeah, who needs Psycho Mantis when you got Hopper?
Yeah, I know, right? Have you been playing all summer? Shit, he's gonna rat me out to my mum. Um, no, special shout out to Croc 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, like all the platformers all the time. I'm really annoyed we don't get more of them made. Obviously, Donkey Kong 64 is also amazing. Um, I
Yeah.
kind of want to get a Wii U at some point, but so I can play Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 and then play 3D World.
3D World is really good, but like it's not that different to 3D Land. So I mean,
But I liked 3D Land.
oh yeah, but what I mean is don't go expecting a massively different experience.
Okay, I won't. That's fine. I can handle that.
Yeah.
No, oh, that's it. That's 5 from me, 5 from you. So I think that about wraps us up, and we should close out, unless you've got anything else.
No, in the words of Mario, let's go.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hopefully, it won't be too long before we do another one.
Yeah. And hopefully we can get our buddy Richie along too. We miss you.
We do. Come back.
We'll be nice.
I might be nice. It takes a lot of effort. I'm not making any promises.
Yeah, he's got like a nosebleed at the moment from complimenting me earlier.
Yeah, so bad. There's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like one of those blooming perverts in a Japanese anime. Oh, boobs! It's on the walls. Yeah. Anyway, with that said,